When I saw yesterday Josh Dobbs was starting instead of Malik Willis, I thought, what the hell? This is a great opportunity to get Malik Willis some reps. This is a great chance to get him ready for the showdown next Sunday, possibly Sunday night, between the Titans and the Jaguars. Winner wins the division and goes to the playoffs and hosts a playoff game. Loser goes home. What's this Josh Dobbs? He just walked through the door. Well, now they got a question, Peter, as to whether it's Josh Dobbs or Malik Willis for the AFC South Championship game.
I mean, does it matter? And you know, of course it matters.
Ouch.
But no, I'm just asking this question. Based on what you saw out of Malik Willis so far this year, 50% passer, 0 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. And obviously he's not played a lot, but do you have any faith in Malik Willis to go into Jacksonville and win this game? Look, you probably don't have any faith in Josh Dobbs doing it either. But I think if you're Mike Vrabel, you've got to sit down with Todd Downing today, tomorrow, whenever, and you have to decide. And who knows, Mike? He may have already decided that I am not starting Malik Willis in a winner-take-all essentially a playoff game. And so it may have already been determined, but honestly, I can't get too fired up whoever they pick, because they're going to be in an absolute, clear, unquestioned disadvantage going into Jacksonville unless Derrick Henry is somewhere north of 85% and he can run the ball 35 times and, control the clock in this game. Mike, it's gone out of style. It's kind of getting back into style a little bit with a few teams this year running the ball, and rushing has become, significantly more popular, and by a bunch of winning teams too. But essentially, a generation ago, maybe longer than that, in the NFL, coaches basically use the running game to run the clock. And if Mike Vrabel is thinking what I'm thinking, he's going to go back and watch the New York Giants play the Buffalo Bills in the Super Bowl in January 1991, and he's going to see what Ron Earhart, the offensive coordinator of the New York Giants, did when Bill Parcells said to him before that week of practice began, play clock ball. And what he meant was run it as many times as you can. Just make sure you keep the ball out of Jim Kelly's hands. And again, I'm not calling Trevor Lawrence Jim Kelly, but what I am saying is that we've got to be realistic about who the Tennessee Titans are right now. And who they are is an awful team in the passing game. But if Derrick Henry plays, they could be a ball control team in the running game.
It is amazing. Malik Willis had 23 pass attempts on Saturday against the Texans for 99 total yards. Why not, as Sims and I were saying yesterday, just make those 23 runs? You'll get more than 99 yards from Derrick Henry than you will in 23 passes from Malik Willis. But this underscores to me also, Peter, the tension that had to have existed between head coach Mike Vrabel and former GM John Robinson, and it's one of the reasons why Robinson's not there. You get the impression that Mike Vrabel was not, is not, and likely never will be a Malik Willis guy, which means third-round pick wasted by the Titans on a quarterback that Vrabel is already coming to the conclusion isn't going to be the guy. Now, maybe he just needs more time. Maybe he shouldn't have been thrust into the fray, but they got to the point where that's what they needed to do because Ryan Tannehill was injured. Malik Willis in multiple starts this year, not great passing. At times, flashes of physical ability in the run game, but not good enough. Anytime that Josh Dobbs can walk through the door, start his first NFL career game, throw his first NFL career touchdown pass, and create even a debate between himself and the guy who was the betting favorite to be the first quarterback taken in the draft, that tells you that the head coach of the team isn't a believer in the young guy and is basically willing to take a chance on anyone with a pulse who can come in and move the offense even at a marginal level.
Hey, look, you're seeing these throws right here last night that, at least to me, when I look at them, I say we can make do with this. We can make do with this. And clearly, you're right, Mike. When I heard that Dobbs was starting this game, I just said to myself, this is not just bad news for Malik Willis today. It's bad news for him going into the future. You pick a guy up off the street in December. It's not like you picked him up, at the deadline, at the roster deadline on Labor Day weekend, Mike. You picked him up in December, which means that already all of the quarterbacks who had gotten looks, the Josh Johnsons of the world, all the guys on every team's practice squad, you're like sifting through. So there, you are basically looking at, excuse me, if you consider the number of teams that have 3 quarterbacks on the active roster and the number have 2, you basically are going for around the 86th best quarterback in football, okay, or somewhere around there. I shouldn't say maybe the 86th best. I'm talking about the 86th most highly regarded quarterback. And you're asking him, to win a game, even though last night's game truly, it was like a preseason game, at least for Tennessee. Meant something to Dallas. Not a lot, really, because the Eagles are not losing their last 2 games at home against the Saints and the Giants. But meant a little something. Does Jacksonville want to go into, basically a winner-take-all game on the road in Week 18, having lost 97 games in a row? No, of course not. But that is their lot in life, and they're going in there with a lightly regarded quarterback, but who, look, he didn't play great last night, but you just showed 3 throws that, on the button, really thrown with authority. I can work with that. That's something that, to me, in the wake of what Malik Willis has shown, I'd rather work right now with Joshua Dobbs.
The Titans provide further proof that football season really begins at Thanksgiving. It was 1 week before Thanksgiving that the Titans last won a game on Thursday night at Lambeau Field, and they seemingly put the dagger in the Packers that night. Instead, the Titans have lost 6 in a row. From 7-3 to 7-9, the Packers have resurrected their chances, and they still remain alive for a playoff berth in the NFC. So much has changed since then, but especially the Titans. And Peter, I can't get past, you mentioned Todd Downing, I can't get past wondering how big of a deal internally that Todd Downing DUI arrest, where the timeline made it inescapable that he had been drinking on the flight, on the bus back to the facility. There's no way he got to the level where he was above the legal limit to operate a vehicle without drinking alcohol on some sort of team-owned or team-leased transportation device. And that's the last moment before things started to fall apart for the Titans. And then you throw in the John Robinson firing, and it just feels bad for the Titans right now.
Hi, I'm Mike Tirico, and thanks for watching. Make sure to hit subscribe for the latest news and highlights from NBC Sports.